in Pittsburgh. It's Week 16 of the NFL on PS4.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
Clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they go play action now. Burrow. They'll roll him out right. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Burrow. Steps away. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown Bengals. Tyler Boyd with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bengals go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. That makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native. At quarterback, it's Baker Mayfield. First down, Mayfield. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Claypool in last week's game: 8 catches, 101 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as they get this up to about the 42. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete here. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw there, hauled in by Claypool. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing, Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, #1, they'll turn to a self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
He takes this for 3 to the 29. On 3rd down, Mayfield. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the... And that's caught inside the 35. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll send a receiver in motion left. From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Burrow. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Alex Highsmith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. On play action, they'll throw. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. McPherson's kick is good. And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. So a great first quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Mayfield. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. 17-0 our score after 1. They go play action. Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 53 yards. One of the good things about throwing it in his direction, he usually has the size advantage on those 2-man catches.
And what I like about his game is that he carries himself at his full height. He understands it's an advantage and uses it at every opportunity.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Harris. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that drive, 6 plays, 75 yards. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Big 13. Big 13.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
11.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow flush to his right. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield is brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now here's another carry for Harris. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run. to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And the Steelers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mayfield now. And he's going to go down here and sacked. They push him back to the 34. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Burrow on play action, sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 74 yards. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Here's Freiermuth again. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Let's go, D.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. His throw incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. That's swung out wide to Harris. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the 10. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with career touchdown number 60. And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Well, that is certainly a deflator right there defensively. Their guys just came off of a touchdown drive. They're back in the game, and then bam, they give up a touchdown 1 play later. How about that?
And the momentum, which seemingly had shifted the other direction, thought we might be seeing a comeback. That momentum right back the other way.
Well, that is certainly not complimentary football that we saw right there. The defense is supposed to help their offense, not give up another touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield locates Claypool on the crossing route. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Mayfield. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in everyone to this Christmas Eve edition of the EA Sports Halftime Report. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. Christian Watson, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at the 20. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Steps away to his left. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
McPherson now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harris. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Mayfield to throw it. This one caught by Crowder. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. To throw, Mayfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Alex Highsmith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They'll buy some time right. It's caught inside the 25. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
A handoff to Mixon. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Mixon is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a nice second effort we just saw there. So I'm trying to get to the end zone, but a lot of times near the goal line, that second effort can lead to disaster. Make sure you hold on to the football because there's going to be guys swarming when you're carrying it.
Kelly. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. They'll try again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. They run for it with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. And McPherson on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw.
Throw left side, taken in by Claypool.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll set up a throw. On the catch, it's Crowder.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And again, it's Mayfield. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it.
And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Bengals grab it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point. But being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
Well, he gave one defender the slip, but others waiting in the wings and dropping him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now on 2nd and 13. Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow to Mixon on the check down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to...
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket, because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back, but every time he's had a chance to throw the...
And he's going to go down again.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Cincinnati, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they hit double digits.